Hey everyone, welcome. I hope you're doing very, very wonderful. So today I'm going to do some makeup inspired by Grace Kelly's famous Gucci scarf. I'm going to put it right here. This was actually a request from one of my subscribers. Her name is Linda. Her niece is having a birthday graduation and she is wearing a dress very similar to this scarf. So she asked me if I would do a makeup look inspired by that, and absolutely I'm going to. I'm a little early. I reread your comment, Linda, and you said it was in July. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking May, probably because my son gets out of school in May, so that's kind of why I have May, on the brain. But you guys, I am going to do a full face. As you can see, I'm in my bare face glory. But before I get right into everything, my name is Carrie. Please consider subscribing to my channel. If you like my content, please give this video a thumbs up. It would really help out my channel a lot, and I thank you in advance. And for those of you already subscribed, you guys are the best. I have the most wonderful subscribers, so thank you very, very much for your support and encouragement. I appreciate it. All right, so the face is already prepped. I've got my Ride or Dies. I've got my Smashbox Photo Finish on the face. I do have my Urban Decay Anti-Aging Primer Potion on the eyes. And now I'm going to go in with some foundation. I'm going in with the Lancome. I'm in 310N. It's a neutral. I was searching for a foundation the past few months because the foundation that I normally use, the Too Faced Born This Way matte, they reformulated it. So I wasn't too fond of the reformulation, so I was in the market for a new one. Although the new Too Faced formulation, I like. It's not as good as the old formulation, so that's kind of why I was in the market. So I've used this particular Lancome previously and hit pan on it. Actually, more specifically, I'm out of it completely. It just hit pan. But so I just went with what I know works, and I know that Lancome has not reformulated this foundation, so I was like, okay, it's safe. But I did really like the Huda Beauty Easy Blur, and I did really like the Estee Lauder All Day 24-hour whatever it's called. They all have long fancy names, but so there was some good contenders. I just went with what I know is safe. All right, you guys, I'm gonna probably cut this or fast forward it because I'm just gonna continue to blend because I'm an over blender. It is what I do. So okay, guys, the foundation is blended in, and now I'm gonna go in with concealer. I think I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a brighter concealer. I'm gonna go in with the Essence Keep Me Covered Concealer. This is in Shell. I've noticed in Ulta, these been on sale, so I don't know if they're getting rid of the line or they're updating it, but I have not seen the Shell color in Ulta at all. I don't know if it's on Essence website. If it is, of course, I'm going to link everything below. Oh man, what do I do with my camo concealer sponge? All right, that's okay. I'll just have to blend this out with my Anissa angled concealer brush. And I'm sorry, guys, I didn't tell you what my foundation brush was. It's a Refer B102. Anyways, yeah, so this concealer, I love this concealer. It didn't get great reviews for some reason, but for my aging eyes, crow's feet, discoloration, this works fantastic. So I don't know, but to each his own. Not everybody, raves about a product is going to work for somebody else, so it just depends on your skin, anyways. All right, concealer is on. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit bright, but once the rest of the face gets done, it'll all even out. I'm gonna set it with the Bare Minerals Original Mineral Veil Powder. I don't think that this is a specifically under eye setting powder, but that's what I use it for. If I find a good setting powder, like the Juvia's Place, I Am Magic, that's a great setting powder. I use that for underneath my eyes to set my concealer. I don't generally use powders all over my face. they just don't work out that great for me for some reason. My favorite is the Pat McGrath under eye blur, skin blur something, but it's specifically an under eye setting powder. That one works really great too. But if you can find a cheaper alternative, you know, like this or the Juvia's Place, man, absolutely, 100%. They work really, really well. Where'd my lid go? All right, let's work on these brows. Let's get these brows, the bane of my existence. I'm going to use the $1 Billion Beauty Universal Brow Pencil. All right, brows are there. I'm just going to kind of brush them out, fluff them up a little bit, make them look a little bit nicer if I possibly can. It's good. I can see all my flaws, but y'all can't see them. You can't notice them. You're not going to notice them. All right, let's finish up the complexion here, and then I'm going to get into the eyes. I'm going to go in with a NYX Buttermelt bronzer, only because it's a neutral, and I'm going to use a cool tone palette. So I'm thinking that this neutral bronzer will work well and not clash, because I think I'm going to put on a cool toned blush. But Linda, you can do whatever you want with your complexion. You don't have to, you know, follow what I'm, you know, doing. As far as complexion goes, I think the main thing you wanted was mostly just your eyes. You know, I feel like complexion, it's very, you know, specific to what you actually like. So who cares what the eyes look like? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I mean, we do care what the eyes look like, of course, but I mean, the eyes don't necessarily have to match the complexion, meaning I can have cool eyes, but a warm complexion. That's kind of what I meant by that, if that made sense. All right, very good. All right, so I was torn with the blush, you guys. I went over and over and over. In fact, I've got like 3 or 4 different palettes in front of me of blushes, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is her loose blush in Love Poem. They don't sell this anymore. Her company went out of business, but this is a phenomenal blush and I absolutely love it. And I do not generally go for loose products because I feel like they get real messy real quick. Like they can get away from you real fast and it's a mess. But her line of loose blush and highlighter was phenomenal. I thought it was some of the best on the market. So anyways, I'm going to go in real gentle because it's super pigmented. And I did tap off quite a bit, just so you guys know. I'm just using whatever is left over on the brush from tapping it all off. But just that is so beautiful. All right, let me get a little bit more. Oh, I got an eyelash. Oh, I have an eyelash. Okay, hold on. It won't. Oh, there it goes. It fluffed away. All right. Nice. I think that looks really, really pretty. And it's not too cool to where it's like it's going to clash. It's just, you know what? Do whatever you like. Whatever you are most comfortable with, that's what you do. All right. So now, anything else I want to do to the complexion? No, let's just get into the eyes. How about we just get into the eyes? So Linda, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sugar Palette because I know that that's something that we have in common. I'm opening this up real slow because look what I did, you guys. I dropped it. Let me show it to you. I dropped it. Look at it. Sad. This one is, oh gosh. But because I like this palette so much, I'm probably, when it goes on sale, and it's actually not too expensive for how much I love it, 29 bucks. But when it goes on sale, I am going to get another one to replace this because that's how much I love this palette. All right, so let's go into this middle shade right here. Top middle. There is no names. They're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I'm going to start the, oh gosh, chunks of my purple are falling out. Whatever. All right. All right, let's just, oh, there's that eyelash. I thought it, anyway, sorry guys. All right, let's put that, I'm gonna start that. This is actually a really light shade on me. It's not too bad. It can get built up. which is nice. But it's got like a purple undertone to it. All right, I think I'm gonna do two different eye looks. So what I'm gonna do is over on this side, I'm gonna go into this pink one right here. Oh, that's so light. That one's like pastel. Okay, that one I'm gonna take way up into like even my brow bone. Gosh, that's pretty though. That's got a kind of pastel pink undertone to it. Oh, it's really pretty. All right, let's see if we can build it up just a little bit. I don't think so. Well, a little bit. Oh, it's nice though. All right, I'm gonna take that same pink though, and I'm gonna highlight the brow bone on this side. Yeah, so nice. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this shade right here, tapping off real light. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this eye up, and before I move over to this side, that way it's not confusing. And I'm gonna gently put that here in my outer V, in my crease, and I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit. Ooh, and that one's got like a purple undertone. I'm gonna take it underneath the lower lash line, really tap off, you guys, because it was powdery. Okay, minimal, simple, easy, beautiful. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some NYX glitter glue. You gotta have some glitter glue. It doesn't have to be NYX, but it's gotta be some glitter glue. I'm gonna put it on the first half of my eyelid here, putting it in the inner corner. I put it up in my crease, in my transition area, because my eyes are so hooded. I want you to be able to see the razzle dazzle, you know, the shimmers and the glitters, the metallics, or whatever y'all want to call them. I want to be able to see that through the hood of my eye. Right, so I am going to go into this purple that's all busted up and broken. I think I've got a decent amount. Hopefully it won't fall all over my face. Some of the blue, oh, but this is a happy mistake. Some of the blue right here, the blue right here, transferred over in here. But that's okay because they're mixing really, really pretty together. So it's kind of a happy accident. But not Shaz. I have another subscriber, Shaz. She's from the UK. But Linda, your palette's probably not broken like mine. So just use the purple. I don't think it's going to make much difference in how this eye is looking. But if you want to mix a little bit of that blue and purple, kind of like how mine accidentally, I got a couple little pieces of that blue, then go ahead and do that. It is stunning. And it's not too much. It's a little razzle dazzle like you requested, but it's still beautiful enough that you're able to really see it on the eye, but it's not too flashy. A little bit is in my inner corner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a real small brush. This one's a Refer 13 mini. And I'm going to go into this silver color. Tap it off because it is chunky. And I'm just going to stamp it right there. A little bit. It doesn't need to be a lot. So beautiful. All right. Now I'm going to take the brush that I had this shade on, this darker shade. I'm just adding a little bit, tapping off, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to stamp. I'm not going to rub. I'm just going to do like this. Let's add a little bit more depth back in while also kind of melting the shimmer and the matte together. It's so beautiful. It's purple, but it's got a little bit of pink to it. It's really, really nice. All right, so I think I'm gonna finish that. I'm gonna keep it like that, simple. Very, very simple. I do want a tight line with a purple eyeliner, so I am gonna go in with the Morphe, I think this is their Now and Later dual This one's later because it's dark. This one's now because it's lighter. But I think I'm going to go with the dark one. And I'm going to tight line the tops and the bottoms, and then I'll go in with mascara. Linda, this is a step that you can absolutely skip or just use whatever you want. A brown. You could even use like an off-white to make the eye pop a little bit, or just skip it, you know, altogether. Or even a black if you wanted to. There we go. So pretty. So pretty. All right. I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lash Sculpt. Honestly, you can use whatever mascara you want to. Whatever you have on hand. Whatever's your favorite. You don't have to have the exact products that I have. I remember when I was first getting into makeup and I would be watching YouTube and they would do a certain look and I wanted every single product exactly the same, whether it was good for my skin tone or texture or not. I wanted it all to be the same. And I was like, now I realize I don't have to do that. I can use my own products, you know. Certain things you might want the same, like an eyeshadow palette. I can understand that. But a mascara, come on. Eyeliners, nah. Lipsticks, no. Highlighters, yeah. Ooh, that's so pretty. All right, I'm gonna do the other. There we go. So pretty. I'm gonna add a little bit more of that pink to the brow bone. And now I'm just gonna blend with the first brush I had. That is so beautiful. That is really, really pretty. Because I think, Linda, I think you have brown eyes, right? So purple like this will really help make those brown eyes pop. And I do think that it's going to go really, really nicely with your dress. So, all right. So now let's finish up this eye. And oh gosh, my palette is a mess, you guys. Hold on. I don't ever usually advocate for blowing on your palette, but in this case, I have to. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to have to get a new one of these. All right. So I'd already put this pink kind of all over, well, the eye, not on the lid, but I did put it on the eye in the transition. And I'm thinking this one right here is a purple. It's more of an intense purple. So I'm going to very lightly, let's do that, gentle and tapping off. I am going to just stamp. Oh, yeah. You know what, how about we make this one a halo? I think that'll be pretty, and it'll still be subtle. It'll still be nice. Okay. I've placed the color. I did not blend it. I'm not concerned with how it looks right now. I just wanted to deposit pigment on there. And now I'm going to go back into that pink one. I did add a little bit more of that pink shade, and I am going to blend a little bit, kind of blend this out, shear it out a little bit. That bright pink will kind of, or pastel-y pink will kind of shear this purple out a little bit. And then you can just kind of go in there and then start kind of cleaning it up. So now, I'm going to take that purple. I am adding a little bit more to the brush and kind of just adding and blending. A little bit more right here. Connect that halo. And now what I'm going to do, glitter glue. It's going to go into the middle of the eye right here. Put a little in the inner corner as well, because I know, you know, I'm going to put some razzle dazzle there too. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this pink one right here in the middle. All right. Lift up the top layer because it's got, like, you know, fluff from the other shades in there from when I dropped. All right. So anyways, I'm going to put that right in the middle of the lid. So beautiful. Okay, now go back in with your brush. I'm not adding any more, and I'm stamping. I'm stamping. So, so beautiful. All right. Now I'm going to do something a little crazy with this particular eye. I'm going to put I put glitter glue on a tip of a brush, and I'm going to deposit that glitter glue right underneath my lower lash line, because you know I got to go in with some razzle dazzle. I'm going in with this blue. You'll see it's going to be beautiful. Sure, you tapped off, and then I'm going to stamp it. Not going to rub it, not yet anyways. And I'm just going to keep stamping until I'm happy with it. Very subtle. You guys might not even be able to see it, but once that light hits you, certain lighting, it's going to look gorgeous. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Ooh, so pretty. Now I'm going to take, I'm going to take another kind of fluffy, kind of dome. Actually, this is not fluffy, but it's a dome, but it's small. And I'm going to take the very smallest amount of that blue right here on this, tapping off, and that's going in the inner corner just to kind of tie the look all together right here. Stamp. Very little, like it's like hardly even there. Okay, so now take my brush, kind of clean up that inner lid a little bit, or put that blue. Ooh, that is so, so pretty. Now with this particular, I'm not going in with purple. I'm going to go in with a pink. This is like a pink metallic. It's the ColourPop cream gel eyeliner, and this is in Calabasas, and that's what that looks like. So it'll just really make that eye, you know, really kind of pop, basically. Okay, guys, the mascara is on that eye. Both eyes are done. They look gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. That is really pretty. This is a great palette, a great palette. All right, I'm gonna clean myself up, and then I'm gonna go in with lips. So just give me 1 second here. Ouch. You guys, okay. So I know that this looks gross. It's in the healing process, but I cut myself with a knife. Yeah, a big one. A big knife too. I was cutting some cheese, a big giant block of cheese. If you guys don't want to hear this, I'll put a timestamp here. You can just fast forward it to the lip and the final look. Anyways, I cut myself cutting a big giant block of cheese. I was going too fast, and the knife came down on my hand. Yeah, I know. Immediately, I started bleeding quite a bit, and you know how like you cut yourself and you don't want to look, and you're just like, I don't want to look, but I had to, like you have to look, you got to assess the damage, right? And I looked, and I could tell that it was pretty bad. It was deep, right? And so the first thing I did was I said a quick prayer to the good Lord, and I run to the sink. I'm squeezing it, right? It's bleeding, and I'm running water over it. Now, because my husband hears me say prayer, he immediately jumps up, and he's like, what happened? Is it bad? Is it? And I was like, I think it's pretty bad. It's bad. So I'm holding it like this underneath the water, and I ask for his help. Okay. If anybody's married, y'all already know where I'm going with this story. Okay. And I have a wonderful husband, you guys. I have a wonderful husband. So I tell my husband, I'm at the sink, right? And I'm squeezing, right? I'm trying to stop the blood from going everywhere, right? Bloody knife on the counter, block of cheese over there. So I tell my husband, I said, go get the honey. So you guys, kind of a life hack, and most of you might already know this. If you burn yourself or you cut yourself, immediately, if you have access to it, go grab honey. Doesn't have to be no kind of honey, no fancy, just go get honey, put it on your wound, and then cover your wound with flour. Can be a wheat flour, it can be a baking flour, it can be Dollar Tree flour, it can be, you know, a fancy flour from that earwong store, whatever it's called, you know, the most expensive. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just put the honey, and then you put your flour on top of it, and then you cover it with a bandage, right? Because honey has antimicrobial, you know, healing properties in it, it will help facilitate the healing process a lot quicker. So I'm still at the, you know, I sometimes like, get me the honey, get me the honey. So he's in our pantry looking for the honey, and he's screaming from the pantry like, I can't find the honey. Where's the honey? And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's where it always is at. And he's like, I can't find it. I can't find it. I'm like, well, forget it. I'll just get it myself. And then as I was saying that though, in my mind, I'm like, okay, go get me the oregano oil, because the oregano oil is very similar to the honey. It's got a lot of healing properties in the oregano oil, right? While I'm still holding this, now at this point, I'm holding it up, trying to restrict the blood flow. I'm holding my hand up. He's like, where's the oregano oil? And I'm, oh my gosh, where's the oregano? And I'm like, it's in the same spot as for the last 6 months. Where's the oregano oil? Oh my gosh. I'm like, it's right here. And I'm bleeding, you guys, and my husband can't find anything. So I'm like, you know, forget it. Can you at least go find me a Band-Aid? I'll get the stuff myself. So I find the oregano. It's right in the spot that it was, where it's always been. Because the oregano oil for me was a lot quicker for me to go grab versus the honey. So I'm putting the oregano oil on my wound, okay, while I've sent my husband to go get me a Band-Aid. A very easy task, right? I'm putting the oregano oil on. Surprisingly, the cut does not hurt. It hurts now that it's healing, because it's just sensitive. But at that time when it first happened, it didn't hurt. So it's like, oh, thank goodness, because it was a nice clean cut. So I'm putting the oregano oil on. It's bleeding through the oregano oil, okay? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what? And I'm wiping it at the same time, adding a little more oregano, wiping, adding a little. And I'm thinking, where is my husband with the Band-Aid? I'm like, did you find a Band-Aid? And he's like, he's like, yeah, I found a Band-Aid. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, by this time, I've already almost stopped the bleeding, you know, and I walked down the hallway with a bleeding hand, and I'm like, where's the Band-Aid? And he's like, my husband is in there trying to open the little wrapper that's around the Band-Aid. You know how like you're supposed to take those two pieces and peel them down? Well, it wasn't peeling down. It was like all these like little pieces. Like it wouldn't do a nice clean, you know, break. And he finally gets it. And then he also has in his hand a whole bunch of what's this, the creams that you put on, like Neosporin and stuff. All these like tubes in his hand. He's like, I didn't know if you needed any of these, but I have these. And I'm like, no, I needed the honey and the oregano oil. I was like, so anyways, he puts the Band-Aid on, and I was fine. And I smelled like a pizzeria for a day or two because, you know, I kept reapplying the oregano oil. But anyways, it's actually looking really good, to be honest. So I don't think it didn't get infected or anything like that. Hallelujah. I don't think there's even going to be a scar or anything. It's healing really, really nicely. So you guys, the moral of the story is, don't use knives too quickly. Take your time. And if you elicit your husband's help for something, you may have to help him help you. Anyways. All right. So anyways, that was my story. I figured you guys would get a good chuckle out of it, but it's a little sensitive, but it's healing. So anyways, you guys, that's my story. Now I've told you my story, we can move on to the lips. I am going to go in with lip liner. I'm going to use the Too Faced Lip Injection. This is in I Do. It's a very beautiful mauve-y, but it's a great lip liner. Will match the eyes beautifully. And I'm gonna go simple with the lip. I'm gonna go in with the Tinted Butter Balm by Kylie Cosmetics. This one's in Kylie. But it's very balmy and comfortable. But there's pigment there. Ooh, those lips look so good. I know lately I have not been lining my lips, but man, when I line my lips, I feel like I actually have some lips. If that makes any sense. All right, let's spray the face. I'm gonna go in with the NYX, the face glue setting spray. I'm still testing it out. I'm still really enjoying it, but the true test will be in the actual summertime. Right now, it's not too bad in Florida. It's like high 80s, 80% humidity, so it's not like boiling yet. Anyways. Okay guys, that setting spray is dry. I did go in and set my brows with the LA Girl Brow Perfect Clear Brow Gel. All right, so let me show you guys the final look. Okay guys, these makeup looks are complete. That is doing some Grace Kelly famous Gucci scarf that she wore inspired makeup. I hope that you guys liked this video. Linda, I hope that this video gave you some ideas to wear at your niece's graduation and her birthday coming up using this beautiful Anastasia Beverly Hills sugar palette. I hope that this is what you wanted. I hope that it does inspire you. I had a lot of fun getting back into this palette. It is a phenomenal palette, you guys. If you don't have the ABH Sugar palette, I think it's worth the $29. The full price. I think it's worth it. So anyways, you guys comment below. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.